Stephen A. Smith joins us now. It's not official till he puts his spin on it. It wasn't a must-win for Houston mathematically, but it certainly was psychologically. What did you like from them tonight to get back into a 2-1 series?
Well, what I loved from it is the fact that obviously James Harden was aggressive and he made enough shots and he put up enough points. But Eric Gordon was absolutely sensational from start to finish. He had 7 3-pointers. He finished with 30. Their defense really amped it up at particular moments in time throughout this game, and they deserve to be given credit where credit is due. During one pivotal stretch in the second quarter, you remember, James Harden was out the game and they were flowing quite well without him. And sometimes I found myself a bit worried as to what this team was going to do with him on the floor because he's very ball dominant, obviously, but nevertheless, the guys that needed to have the ball in their hands got it in their hands when it counted at most, and that's why they were able to win this game. But they were also helped by the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant dropped 46 points, okay? Kevin Durant during one stretch was absolutely positively unstoppable. And then for some inexplicable reason, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, two of the greatest shooters you'll ever see, two of the top 5 shooters in the history of the game, the greatest shooting backcourt we've ever seen, but they've been relatively cold. You got a guy like Kevin Durant. You keep feeding him the basketball. You don't go away from him. But on 3 straight possessions, they went away from him. Ultimately, he got a little bit cold, and then he missed his next 5 shots or so. So I thought that was pivotal as well, and I thought that cost Golden State. And obviously, Steph Curry, he's not shooting the ball well at all. And we've talked a lot about James Harden not shooting the ball well. We haven't talked about how Steph Curry's been shooting this series as well, but we'll start that. I'll see to that Monday, actually.
This has been a contentious series from the start. The calls, the non-calls that happened up in Oakland, and now we got a 2-1 series. Do you think both of these teams are kind of prepared for the long haul here? I mean, they went 7 games last season.
Well, Houston has no choice but to be prepared for it because you're not going to beat the Golden State Warriors short of 6 games, obviously. You're the Golden State Warriors. You win Game 4. You close them out at the Oracle in Game 5. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, I have the mentality that this game was in my hands. I could have won it had I fed the beast that was Kevin Durant a little bit more, and it would have been over in 4. But since they won this game, okay, now we're ended in 5 back at the Oracle. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, that is the mentality that I have because Steph Curry came into this game shooting 26% from three-point range. Tonight, he shot 22% from three-point range. He shot 30% from the field. He's shooting under 40% for the field. This is the greatest shooter we have ever seen in the history of basketball. How long do you expect that to last? I don't think that's going to last very long. I think you'll see Steph Curry play a bigger game and have a bigger role in Game 4 and then lights out in Game 5. Unless, of course, Eric Gordon decides to continue to play the way that he played in Game 3 because, again, he was sensational.
Stephen A., I remember around mid-season there was great debate out there, the followers of the NBA, that Houston couldn't succeed if they ran all the offense through James Harden, if they played the style that they do. But, in fact, it does work when it works, when James Harden is going. I mean, he took 32 shots in this game.
Well, that's according to Kenny Mayne. Stephen A. Smith would respectfully disagree. You're not winning this series. Just because you won a game, let's not get too excited. Pump the brakes just a little bit there, Kenny Mayne. They're not winning this series playing that kind of basketball. As far as I'm concerned, the best shot you have is to bench Clint Capela, go small. The Iman Shumperts, the Gerald Greens of the world, the Austin Rivers of the world need to be seeing more time. And by Iman Shumpert, I mean if he's hitting perimeter shots. He made a couple of threes, but he missed them more as well. You got to keep your eyes on that. If you're the Golden State Warriors, it simply comes down to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry reminding us why they're 2 of the top 5 shooters in the history of basketball. They do that, it's lights out. If they don't do it, at least you got a secondary option, which is Kevin Durant, who's really a first option. You give him the damn ball, okay? This is what you do. This is the sport of basketball that we're talking about here. When you have somebody that has that kind of hot hand, you do not go away from him unless Kevin Durant chooses to do so by feeding Andre Iguodala in the left corner to hit 2 pivotal threes like he did. Outside of that, you feed him all day long. Besides, Kenny, he's considerably skinnier than you. He can afford to eat a little bit more. Feed him. Feed him and feed him some more.
Has Steve Kerr considered bringing you in as something of a motivational speaker? You seem to have it down for what the Warriors need.
You know what? I haven't talked to Steve Kerr about that. I do think it's something he should consider. After all, if you do your homework on me giving speeches, I'm quite good.
Stephen A. Smith, enjoy the rest of the playoffs. Thanks for joining us.
All right, my man.